You love them, you hate them, you love to hate them. My movie reviews, which are on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Rudy J hasn't done one with me in about a month. And
only one I missed was the Keanu Reeves joint?
Yeah, so The Replacements.
Yeah, I think I missed.
So I've done 3
what did you give
movies in a row that are football related. I did The Waterboy.
I missed Waterboy and The Replacements,
which I gave an A-.
What?
Love The Waterboy.
It was cool.
I cannot believe. Now, keep in mind, when you judge a comedy versus a drama, it's 2 different things. But I really liked The Waterboy. It's funny. I've seen it probably 4 times since. I'm disappointed that I've gone this long in life without seeing that movie. It is so funny. That is high quality H2O. Love it.
You stupid.
The Replacements, I think I gave a C+ or a B-.
Be a C. It better not have been a B.
It was I.
Yeah.
It was I.
That's a C.
So I thought, let's do another sports movie that I've never seen before. And my wife was a little bit weirded out by the fact that I have not seen Remember the Titans. She goes, I saw this with my dad as a teenager.
Oh, okay.
And I'm over here going, well, I've never seen it. So I'm age 45. This movie came out in the year 2000 when I was 23 years old. I have no excuse for not seeing this movie.
Yeah.
I was out of the house. I had my own money. I could have watched this movie, but I didn't. Okay.
Okay.
And that's the thing about these movie reviews. Everyone has seen these movies, but I haven't. Last night I watched the Denzel Washington classic. And I'm conflicted. Let me go ahead and say that. Okay, Rudy. So, Rudy, I almost want you to interview me when it comes to this because let's go back in time with this movie. Okay, it came out in 2000. It's a Disney movie.
All right, man.
It's a Disney movie.
All right,
it is on Disney Plus. You can watch it for free if you have Disney Plus. Denzel Washington plays Herman
I'm already
Boone.
not liking this. I'm already not liking the fact that you started off your review by saying I'm conflicted. Continue. I'm not going to interrupt you anymore. Go ahead.
Okay, so Denzel Washington plays Herman Boone, the new head coach at T.C. Williams High School.
This is based on a true story, by the way.
In Alexandria, Virginia. Will Patton plays Bill Yost, who used to be the head coach, got demoted to defensive coordinator because the schools are being integrated, or at least one school's being integrated, and they thought to pacify the angry crowd, they want to basically say that they need to have an African-American coach. They brought up Denzel Washington. Yost, that character, the coach, decides to stay on because he doesn't want his white players that he had from the prior year to miss a season because they were going to plan on boycotting the season. He didn't want them to lose out on scholarships.
Couldn't lose out on the scholarships.
So they decide to work together, and there's this huge thing where they go off into training camp where they hate each other. The black kids and the white kids don't get along. They don't understand each other. There's racism going on. There's fights going on. There's a lot of different things like that going on. But as time goes on, they come together as a team. And they come together as a team because they had this really rough 2 or 3 week camp where they lived together, they played together, they sweat together, they bled together. And it was very, very positive. And it was very uplifting part of the movie. And then they go back to school, and the life that they had at camp is not what they get greeted at the school. At the school, there is a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of racism still going on. And a lot of the white kids are upset that the white athletes are now friends with these black athletes. And a lot of the black students are upset that the black athletes are friends with the white athletes, but they're playing and they're trying to make their way through an undefeated season to go to the state championship game. Denzel Washington's character, Coach Boone, is basically being threatened with his job, that if he loses a game, he's going to be let go. And there's reasons for him to lose. And so he's taking care of the offense. Will Patton, who, by the way, I'm watching this movie going, oh, I remember him from Armageddon.
Of course.
He is playing Coach Yost, who's now the defensive coordinator. And it's about how this team kind of comes together and tries to rally the community around the team and basically hopefully have racial conflict go down if they can set the example for the school and for the community. Okay. Some things about the movie is that I did not know who was in it. I knew Denzel Washington was in it.
You didn't know Wood Harris was in it?
No. Okay. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, hey, isn't that the guy Turk from Scrubs? So I'm taking.
Ooh, I don't know Scrubs.
You've never seen Scrubs?
No, hell no.
Donald Faison.
Oh yeah, he's in it.
Yeah. So and then the little girl who's kind of annoying. I realized halfway through it. That that's Hayden Panettiere.
He said she's kind of annoying. Okay.
And I'm like, hey, isn't that Ryan Gosling?
Yes.
And Ryan Gosling.
Yost, don't you take my boy out. Yost. He said, you want to give him your position, you go and give it to him.
Exactly.
You didn't like that.
So Ryan Gosling's character was there to simply just
Ryan
laugh.
Gosling's character was a scrub.
Yeah.
He couldn't play dead in a morgue.
He's like, I can't keep up with the receiver. He's too fast. And
I'm not liking this already.
And then you go on and on to the point where, water is for losers. Water is for weak people. I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here?
That's how
man?
the Junction Boys were, but go ahead.
So it was a fascinating movie. It was an uplifting movie. My wife was enjoying it. She loves the movie. She gives it high.
Everybody
marks.
loves that movie.
Okay. Going to a couple of scenes here. Okay. First of all, the big white dude.
Who's lost a lot of weight. He's ripped up now.
Who is that guy? He looks familiar.
He was also in Blow.
Really?
He was Boston George right-hand man. They started selling weed together on the beach.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was in that movie too. But he
was funny. He was the comic relief of the movie.
He's like, Coach, I passed. Got all C's.
I got a C plus. I'm going to college.
Yeah.
And then you have Trevor Lawrence show up. I was looking at that quarterback going in there. I was like, what is this, Trevor Lawrence?
He's got to cut his hair if he's going to play for us.
Yeah, and then he goes out there and they're like, oh, he is the quarterback. And then he's on
campus doing yoga.
Okay, so.
And Faison wants to know if he's gay or not. Like, hey, I just want to know, man. I just want to know.
You're from California.
And then he kissed him.
Yeah. So I never understood that scene. I wasn't going to rewind it because I was like, where did that scene come from? I didn't know what they were trying to prove.
With what?
The kissing scene.
He was trying to let you know, like, dude, first of all, why do you need to know if I'm gay? Second of all,
he was just secure with himself.
Yeah, he's just busting his chops a little.
Now, one of the things I did like about the movie was a lot of the music in there. They sang a lot of R&B hits from back in the day. The soundtrack is fire.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So you have the 60s R&B, you have the early 70s rock music, late 60s rock music in that soundtrack. Fantastic. But Edwin Heffner, need to ask a question here because you're a lot younger than me. Did you like this movie? How much did you like this movie? Is this a movie that's rewatchable for you? What did you think?
He watches it every time it comes on.
No, I mean, it was, obviously it has an historical perspective with, the integration of the schools and what it was back in, I think it was real in the 70s. I think that's when
the movie was set, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah. Even though it was made in 99 or 2000, but
right.
No, it was a great movie. I thought it was the football side and the historical side. I thought it was a great movie.
Okay, first of all, I think it's an important movie for people to watch these days. Obviously, there's racial tension from time to time in different places for different reasons. But right now, I think that we live in a world where conservative people and liberal people don't interact with each other. It's almost like they're segregating each other as well. We live in that society, which is weird because my conservative friends think I'm liberal, and my liberal friends think I'm conservative. And I'm like, just kind of caught in the middle, You
should just tell them I'm not red or blue, I'm right or wrong.
That's exactly it. So, the review of this movie conflicted, okay? Because as a movie itself was a very good movie. Okay? I would go ahead and say that as a movie, it is an A-.
I knew it.
Okay?
I called it.
My problem with the movie, and the reason why it's not an A or an A+,
okay,
is because it is historically nonsense.
What do you mean?
It is not based on a true story. Very little of this was true. First of all, go back.
Well, first of all, the characters are true characters, but how it went down is always twisted, Mike.
Exactly.
Don't be like that.
Okay, first of all,
they really did go undefeated.
Okay, so let's go into the fact that this movie is set in 1971 and they're integrating these schools, right? The fact of the matter is that this movie takes place 6 years after the school had already been integrated. So
yeah,
it wasn't year one.
First of all, they didn't start the segregation with them. It's just it was still racial tensions. This is the Deep South. But go ahead.
Right. Well,
Continue
it's
knocking.
Virginia, man. I mean, it's not like
That's considered the
Alabama.
South.
Dude,
It is.
Virginia is just as bad as some of the Deep South.
Okay.
The
Okay.
red state.
I'm sorry. My bad. I said the Deep South, but it's just Virginia is just like the Deep South. Trust me.
Okay. It wasn't that big of a struggle for this team. They shut out 9 teams that year. Okay. And in fact,
That's because the deep. Did you hear the cop when he pulled up on Wood Harris? He said, I ain't seen a defense like that in 15 years. He thought he was about to get beat down by the cops. So this is one of the best teams they had in a while, but continue your criticism.
the championship game, which
It's
they
your
won,
review.
which they won on the final play, was also nonsense because they won the state championship 27-0. What they did was they went back. They did win a game on the last play of the game.
It was like what, 2 games before?
It was midway through the season.
Oh.
And they moved that game and said, we're going to use that one as the state title.
What's
and
wrong
move
with that, Mike?
Edwin's looking at me like, do not do this to me.
Why are you doing
Do
this?
not ruin this movie for me. The guy who got T-boned and ended up paralyzed
in the Paralympics.
Yeah, that did not happen before the championship. It happened afterwards, and he did not get T-boned. He lost control of his car. Okay.
Why would you even look this up?
Because I want to look at the historical accuracy of some of these
No,
movies.
Mike, hold on.
Like the movie
Time
Rudy is nonsense also.
Time out,
movie
Mike.
Rudy is worse.
Time out, Mike. So when Rotten Tomatoes or Siskel and Ebert do their reviews,
Yeah.
do they just review the movie or do they go back and check facts? Like I'm this is serious. No, this is a serious question. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know
what they
either.
do. It's been
I
so
can't
long
believe
since Siskel
my
and Ebert were
wife
a
does
thing.
this. You know what? My wife does this in the middle of movies. It drives me crazy.
Oh, they also didn't go to Gettysburg to jog over there. They did a field trip there, but they didn't jog over there
At
as
4
part of the
a.m.
training at 4 a.m.
And like
So
300 soldiers died right here.
yeah.
Right here.
So and then when they showed all the people that died afterwards, like the guy who died in a car accident, who was killed by a drunk driver, the one who was paralyzed, ended up getting a Paralympic gold medal. He died 10 years later. That's part of the end of the movie, right? He was killed by a drunk driver. What they didn't show also was that the one who plays the girl, Hayden Panettiere, the little girl, she also died very young as well.
Damn.
She died.
You just
at
like
age
he like
34.
ruining the experience,
So
bro.
it's with a heavy heart that I give this movie an A-.
So
But as far as the movie is concerned, the reason why I didn't like the end of the movie, because the ending of the movie, not don't get me wrong, the hey goodbye.
yeah,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the football action, because it's like, we're down, we have one more score, we have one more play to go, and I'm there going, what did they just run? And then it's like they win the game, and then there's like very little celebration. Then all of a sudden they're at a funeral, and I'm like, did they run out of film? Like, let the movie breathe. Give it 6 more minutes, man. Have them
did
celebrate.
give you the credits on what happened.
Have them celebrate. And all of a sudden, I'm like at a funeral. I'm like, am I supposed to be cheering or crying at this point?
So let me ask you this. So if it was a little bit more onto what really happened, it would have been an A+.
Yeah.
So then the movie itself is A+. The accuracy, it gets the minus.
Yes, that's the asterisk around it.
Hey, if that's the way you want to review it, that's fine. As long as it got an A.
But I will be saying, very much like high quality H2O from the Waterboy, I will be saying left side, strong side from here on out. And now I understand why Frosted Flakes was doing the We're the Mighty Tigers, because they took that from We're the Mighty Titans.
Oh, really?
We Are the Titans.
Oh yeah, mighty
it's,
Titan.
Yeah. So Frosted Flakes, I was like, I remember that.
Yeah,
Frosted Flakes did that, so they took it from the movie. It was a good movie. It passed the time very, very well. It is not accurate at all, but then again, so wasn't the movie Rudy. The Rudy was trash itself. Those are my reviews. A-. Hope you liked it.